All right, we will get started with players with senior offensive tackle Brenden Jaimes. As most of you know, Brenden set a offensive line record for most consecutive starts with his 39th straight start on Saturday. So open it up to start today with questions for Brenden. Not seeing any yet in the chat. Sean Callahan, Husker Online.
Hey, Brenden, I know every senior has a chance to come back. I know a year ago you thought about going pro. I mean, I assume this will be it for you. I mean, have you kind of thought about what the next move is for you and with that option that's still out there for a lot of guys to return next year?
Yeah, there's two really good options. I don't think I'd be wrong with either option. Still have to talk a lot about it to my family and coaches, but right now I'm really just focused on finishing the season out strong. So, when that time comes, I'll make a decision, but until then, focused on the team.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey, Brenden. Kind of a strange senior day for sure, headed on for you on Saturday. I know you've been around these for your teammates in the past. And you guys don't even know you could play at home next week, I guess. So all of that taken into account, what are you expecting the emotions to be like this week?
I don't know. I don't think anyone's been in this situation before. So for our senior day to be in a year like it has been, I think emotions will be high. But like Frost always says, we have to control those emotions and still execute with passion and emotion, but just, learn how to control it. Proud to be a senior at Nebraska. Wouldn't have had it any other way. Obviously, if there were fans, that'd be pretty cool. But other than that, I love the way things turned out. I learned a lot more from losing than winning. I think we've all grown a lot more throughout this year. So proud of myself, proud of the guys I play with, and I think emotions will be high that day.
Andrew Ward, KLKN.
Hey, Brenden, when Keith said that, you broke a record for career starts right there, with all the great offensive linemen that have come through here, what does that mean to you to have that record now?
It means a lot. I came to Nebraska to be a part of an offensive line tradition, and to be a part of that tradition now is just something that I'm forever grateful for. All the people that have came before me, all the people that will come after me. To be where I am today, I couldn't have done without my teammates. When I was a young guy, people like Tanner Farmer and David Neville, Nick Gates, all those guys, I didn't do it by myself. So couldn't have done it without those guys.
24/7 Sports, Brian Christopherson.
Hey, Brenden, you were just talking about when you were a young guy. How's Turner Corcoran doing? He's been on these road trips with you and working behind you. Obviously, he came in with a lot of attention on him. What have you seen from him as he's gone about growing like you had to do when you were a younger player?
Yeah, personally, I think he's more mature than I was when I was in his shoes. I think he'll be a great asset to the team next year as he is this year. Whatever role he fills, I think he'll be able to do it to the best of his ability. Coach Austin likes him. Coach Frost likes him. So, along with all the other young guys, I think they're doing a great job competing every day in practice. But for him, I think if he has to take that left tackle role next year, I'm going to do my best to kind of give him all the advice that the older guys gave me, and just to pass down a legacy of being a left tackle at Nebraska.
One more, if I could. Cam came back and snapped it really well this past week. There was a lot of focus on him when he had kind of some rough time snapping it. Just what have you seen out of Cam Jurgens as far as, going through that process and just the confidence in himself to keep going and have a better week this past game?
Yeah, I mean, he works hard just like everybody else does on the offensive line and in the team. Obviously, he's had some snapping issues in the past, so he's had to stay after practice, come in before practice, and work on that issue. And obviously, it worked out this week. I don't think there were too many, if any, bad snaps this week. So, if that's the case, then he needs to keep doing what he's doing, not slack off. So I think everybody's working just as hard as him. But like I said, he's a young kid, so with experience comes confidence, and I think the more confidence he gets, the more settled he'll be into his position, and the snap issue will hopefully go away. So
Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, Brenden, could you take us back to 2017 when you first stepped in the starting lineup? I mean, when that happened, could you have imagined that you would start every game from that day until now? And what does it take to start 39 straight games?
it has been a long 39 games. I'll say that. Did I see myself starting 39 ever since after that? No, honestly. I came to Nebraska at about 265, 270 pounds, and to start in the Big Ten as a offensive tackle at that weight is not ideal. But I came from, I feel like I came from a pretty good high school. I feel like my technique was for the most part there. Obviously, I made freshman error mistakes, but for the most part, I feel like I held my own. And then every year after that was just continuing to be a better version of myself on and off the field. And I think that's really what's helped me become who I am today. And then, like I mentioned before, the guys all around, I didn't do this by myself. I had a lot of older guys until I became the older guy who helped me along the way. So without them, I don't think that would be possible.
Was there ever a week in that stretch where you got to midweek and you weren't sure if you were going to be able to go? Like, did the streak ever come close to ending? I know you went down at one point last year, maybe. Did you ever come close to the streak breaking?
Yeah, I mean, there have always been a lot of small injuries here or there that, every offensive lineman gets, that everyone usually plays through. So, I thank God every night for a healthy day, healthy season, and pray for those who aren't healthy and for a quick recovery. So I'm just trying to finish out the season healthy and be the best version of myself throughout the season.
Couple more for Brenden here. Steve Sipple, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Hey, I'm sort of curious in something you said. I think I know the answer, but I want to hear it from you. Why is playing at 265 not ideal in the Big Ten?
Well, it's pretty difficult to block someone across from you who's 6'6", 280 and can run a 4.44. The defensive line in the Big Ten, I think, is they have some of the best athletes in the country, and they're only getting better. So to be that light and to be as weak as I was, back when I was a freshman, it was very difficult. I had to lean a lot on what, at the time, Coach Kavanaugh had taught me technique-wise, and really lean on the older guys to help me out a little bit, especially with the offense that I had to learn that year. But playing at 265, 270 in the Big Ten is not what I would call an ideal situation for an offensive tackle.
How do you feel about your level of play right now, especially maybe compared to back then? Or how has your level of play developed as the years have gone on?
I think they've gotten higher every year. I think the level that I'm playing at has gotten significantly higher than when I was a freshman, obviously. Back then, I would really just focus on sort of myself, being selfish, didn't really know the playbook, didn't have the size, didn't have the strength to compete. But now I do have the size, I do have the strength, I know the playbook, so trying to be a team leader, bringing people along with me, bringing young guys like Turner Corcoran and Piper, bringing up to the level that I'm playing at is kind of my role as a team leader. And I feel like if I can keep doing that and keep bringing those young guys with me and everybody playing up to the level that we're all playing at, then I think we'll be very successful.
Thank you, Brenden.
All right, we'll finish up with Brenden with Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Brenden, you're the rare senior from that 2017 recruiting class, and most of those guys from that class are gone. I'm just curious, what was your mindset or your, I guess, motivation to stick it out for the years, and I guess what was it like to continue even though a lot of guys from that class have moved on since?
I wanted to show that I was loyal. I really had no reason to transfer. For the guys that did, they've had a lot of success. So everyone has their reasons. I wanted to come to Nebraska to be at Nebraska and be a part of tradition like no other. And I feel like I've done that. I put a lot of trust in Coach Frost and his coaching staff, and I'm glad that they are the staff that came. I couldn't imagine a better coach than Coach Austin. He's a main reason of why I stayed. I love playing for him. I love being coached by him. I love being with him every single day. He's a big reason of why I stayed.
All right, thank you, Brenden. We'll have, I believe, Ben Stilley next.